Hey guys, this is John from Rock Creek Fisherman's Mercantile, here for another round table. This week we are going to tie the Charlie Special. It's a Salmonfly pattern that a guy in Missoula named Wayne Gravatt created. And we sell hundreds of these things every Salmonfly season. It's just a great pattern, easy to tie, not a whole ton of materials either. So let's get into it. So we've got a few different things. Usually you're gonna want about a size 4 or 6 hook. This one is a size 6. This is a Dairiki 730. It's more of a streamer hook, but for a fly this size, it works pretty well. You're gonna want a pretty fine saddle. Usually I've seen it done in black, but I really like this kind of reddish color. That's gonna be for the body material. We're gonna use red plastic canvas yarn, also for the body. We're going to use a little bit of fine white dyed deer hair to add into the wing. We've got orange barred rubber legs. And we also have these pre-cut foams. I get a big sheet of foam and then I just cut these myself beforehand. It just makes it a little more easy. So let's pass a few of these around. Oh my God. Put some dirt in it. Oh, and one thing I forgot is your thread. Pretty important. Either black or like a dark gray. Just some very darker color like that. And then we're gonna start by building a thread base across the whole shank of the hook. Unless you break the thread like I just did. There we go. Okay, take 2. Okay, so you're gonna take your foam, you're gonna do that rounded edge. That's gonna be your tail. So I don't know if you can see this on the camera or not, but you only want a little bit of that tail sticking out from the bend of the hook. I'd say maybe 1/2 inch or so. You'll kind of get an idea of how little or how much to do after tying a few, but basically you want it to look like that. A little bit sticking up off from the hook. And then switch your grip, tie that foam down. Loose ties to start, working your way up towards the front. I'll let you guys get ahead of me. So once you get your loose wraps up towards the front, like all the way up to the front too, start doing tighter wraps going back to where you initially tied it down. And make sure this foam is kind of situated on the very top of the hook. Right, sissy? Right? Oh, I love it.
Down. Sissy, no. Sissy.
Oh, sissy, you in trouble now, girl.
Come here.
Okay. Next step, we're gonna attach feather and the red yarn.
Are we crowded?
You're gonna crowd the eye pretty close actually, because what we're gonna do it a little later, but we're gonna take that foam that's pointed forward and pull it back to tie it down. Don't do that just yet, but yeah, crowd the eye in this case. Okay, so everyone has a feather and some red yarn.
Can this be made in different colors too?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was toying with the idea of doing a squala version of it, but for the sake of teaching it, we'll stick with the classic pattern. Sissy, you're a terror. Okay, so we'll tie yarn on first, and then take your feather. So what we're gonna wanna use is this thinner portion, as it tapers up. So this thick stuff down here with all the furry fibers, you're gonna wanna just kind of strip that off with your fingernails. Then give it a clip. So all you should have when you're starting is that. Down, sissy. And then tie down that feather, same place you tied down the yarn. And then bring your thread up to the front. All right, so let's start with the yarn, the red yarn, and just start building that body and wrapping it up towards the front. And with this, you can stop a little bit short of the foam that's sticking out. You don't need to go all the way up with this.
If we have a little extra, we cut that off.
Yep. All right, and then we're gonna take our feather and we're just gonna create a little bit of texture to this body. Try to space it out evenly as you go forward. Which is something I'm not doing right now, but that's okay. And then one thing I like to do when you're tying this off is I like to strip a little bit of the feathers off that quill, just so when you tie it down, it's not so messy. It's not super necessary, but it's just a little trick I learned that just makes it look a little cleaner. And then tie that bad boy down and clip it off. All right, then we're gonna put a little deer hair on. You could use like widow's web or some sort of synthetic material too, but the original pattern has this white deer hair. You don't really have to stack this either, just because it's more of a visual for the fisherman versus the fish. Might be a little short, but we'll try this out. Okay. Pass it around, well, it's probably better to see it on the fly itself. You want about that much of that white hair. And once you have your hair, just set it on top of the hook. Just tie it down, same place you tied down your yarn and your feather. Sorry?
Towards the front of the hook?
It's going to be pointed back towards the tail. Some of it might come out because we didn't stack it, but as long as you have a little bit, that's all right. And then take your thread and kind of wrap back over that hair a little bit, kind of going towards the bend of the hook. Maybe about 1/4 inch, and then stop. If you were doing this for commercial purposes, this is when you would probably want to put a little head cement or glue in there. Just for the sake of instruction, I don't typically do it, but might as well. So take a little head cement and just put it in those wraps. And then that excess hair that's sticking out towards the front, you're going to clip that as close as you can to your thread wraps. Okay, so now we're going to take the little foam head that's sticking out front above the eye. We're going to pull it back and create kind of a little bubble head. And then right where your thread is, since you brought it back a bit, you can just start tying it down right there. Do a few light wraps to start and go a little heavier. And build a pretty thick thread base there. And then we're gonna have some fun with rubber legs. And then, does everyone have rubber legs? Okay. So with the rubber legs here, it's pretty simple actually. You just, right where you tied down that head, you're just gonna attach your rubber legs, one on each side basically, so you have an X shape when it's all said and done. I don't think Sissy agrees with that. Light wrap so you can position them before you cinch these down. Then once you got it the way you like it, give a couple good tight wraps in there.
And Unithread is not going to be our sponsor this week.
No. Well, this stuff is waxed, 6-aught. It should be stronger, but... And that's pretty much it for the fly. You'll want a whip finish right where you've been tying all this stuff down. Then do a little dab of head cement. And then we're gonna have fun with markers after this. You notice with this bug, like on the tail, there's a little bit of black on it. And all you do with that is just take a little magic marker or a Sharpie and just, on about 2/3 of it, I guess, just draw a little tail in like so. And that's simulating the egg sac on a salmonfly, which the fish, they really seem to like it when they see those. Sometimes I'll go to the front and just darken that up a little bit. And that is a Charlie special.